Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. This is my second video in the series for all jobs in Harvestella. This is for the Mage Job. Be sure to check out my video on the Fighter job as well as my other Harvestella videos. They're all located in one convenient playlist on the channel. All of my guides are spoiler-free as possible, only showing early game locations and party members. No story spoilers will be found. I will be doing a video on each job in Harvestella, so be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell to not miss a single one. Remember, a like, comment, and subscribe are all free ways you can support this channel, and I appreciate any and all of it. One thing before we start, I did create a Discord server for the channel for all things gaming. It will have Harvestella as well as other games I play to discuss. I'm really passionate about starting a positive gaming community, so if that sounds like your cup of tea, feel free to join. Link will be in the description. Those are all the updates I have to go over, so with no more delay, let's begin. Job Summary. Condense the power of magic from the monolith, and then release it all at once. Command ice and lightning attributes potent against enemies with hard skin. The Mage Job specializes at long-range magical attacks. Because mages can utilize multiple elements, they're able to deal huge amounts of damage by skillfully targeting enemy weaknesses. This job is meant to be used primarily at range, but does have skills to get out of sticky situations if they are surrounded up close. The mage's cross-job passive is taking 20% less magic damage for yourself and dealing 20% more magic damage to enemies. This makes having a mage in your job loadout along with other magic attacking classes a really valuable strategy. The Mage Job uses both ice and lightning damage types, so enemies weak to ice and lightning will melt against the mage's magical prowess. It's also worth noting that typically enemies with high physical defense or armor will be more susceptible to magic damage. Having a magic attacking class for these instances is never a bad idea. Though the skills can be used up close or from a distance, it is typically better to have your party members in the front line with you slinging spells from behind them in most instances. The Mage Job is squishier than many other classes, so don't want them to be tanking for the team. Though more niche than not, there are plenty of situations where you'd want a mage in your job loadout. How to unlock. You unlock the Mage Job simply by playing through the story. In the first dungeon, Hegan Canyon, near the beginning/middle-ish, you'll come across a mini-boss fight. This will be nothing too challenging for you at this point in the game. Once you beat this mini-boss, you'll immediately learn the Mage Job. Now those pesky armored enemies will stand no chance against you. Attacks and skills. The mage's normal attack string is actually just one swipe to the right, which attacks enemies with an ice attack at range. This is perfect for standing back and slinging spells. Part of me still does wish there was a combo string of spells that attacked a little more quickly with both ice and lightning weaved in, but the normal attack is still a great playstyle for a more kind of laid-back approach. The first active skill you get is Electro. Electro unleashes a lightning bolt from above to hit a single target at range and can attack more than one enemy if they're very close together. The second active skill you get is Freeze. This will unleash a crystal of ice at the center of a target which damages them, and hits around the target in a small AoE. Bolt Impulse is the next active skill you get, and is the get out of jail free card when surrounded I mentioned earlier. You'll slam your staff to the ground and blast lightning damage in a pretty large field around yourself. This will damage any and all targets within range and also knocks them back. This is perfect if you find yourself too close in the fray of battle. If you're feeling a little more ballsy, you can also run up to a bunch of enemies grouped together and slam down your staff to hit a bunch at once. The AoE is pretty large on this attack. The ultimate ability of the mage is Absolute Blitz. Absolute Blitz is a ranged attack that will blast both ice and lightning at the center of the target with a pretty large AoE to hit other enemies near the target. This attack is pretty quick to execute, hits hard, and hits many. Perfect for bosses and groups of enemies alike. As with any job, each active ability aside from the ultimate can be leveled up 2 times to increase both the damage and reduce cooldowns. The mage's passive abilities are Increase Break Gauge Fill Rate, Shorten Job Change Cooldown, Enhance Normal Attack, increase ice damage, reduce magic damage, and increase magical damage. Skill Tree Path. Do remember, this is just my preference, and the class is viable even if you go in a different order. You'll start with Electro, then Freezing, then Shorten Job Change Cooldown, then Enhance Normal Attack, then Bolt Impulse, then Freezing 2, then Increase Ice Damage, then Bolt Impulse 2, Enhance Normal Attack 2, Electro 2, Electro 3, Shorten Job Change Cooldown 2, Bolt Impulse 3, Absolute Blitz, Freezing 3, Increase Magical Damage, Increase Break Gauge Fill Rate, and finally Reduce Magical Damage. As always, the order you can unlock Tier 3 will vary on how quickly you go through the main story, so do keep that in mind. If you're taking your time to complete the main story, you may need to go back and fully complete Tiers 1 and 2 before Tier 3 will be available. How to unlock Tier 3. You will need an item called the Mage's Echo Stone. To get this item, you'll need a level 2 bomb. This means you must reach Chapter 5 in the story before this is available to you. This stone is located in a chest to the northeast of your farm, behind the animal pens. You will see a large crystal wall that needs a level 2 bomb to break. And unfortunately, I do not have footage of this crystal wall, and I'm too lazy to start a new game and go through the prologue to see it, but it should be pretty obvious. I'll have some footage of where it is playing in the background. If any amendments are needed, I will put it in a pinned comment. Accessories. Magic Attack Up is a great starting point, since all of this class's damage is considered magic damage. Crit Up is also really nice to see those big numbers as well. Because this job is so squishy, doesn't really have a method of dodging attacks, it may not be a bad idea to run some physical defense up, HP up, or damage attribute resistance up accessories. Taking a defensive angle with this class is good to let your party members get up close and personal, and that way it can save you if an enemy sneaks up on you in the backline or uses an AoE you cannot dodge. The Dexterity Ring is almost always equipped for me unless I max out a job skill tree. This will increase the amount of JP you receive from battle, which is really helpful through navigating the skill tree. Once you gain the ability to combine accessories, you can make an accessory that covers all the bases. Feel free to mix and match to have the Mage class excel as well as the other 2 jobs in your loadout. In conclusion, the Mage Job is a super satisfying, primarily ranged attacking class. If you want to cosplay as Zeus or Storm from X-Men, this job has you covered. You will get other magic attacking classes as the game progresses, but ice and lightning damage types will always cover a pretty good amount of weaknesses for a lot of the dungeons. Their attacks can feel a little bit slow, but they hit like trucks in the right scenarios. In situations where you're playing another job, low on health, and cannot be in the front lines, it's very satisfying to switch to the Mage Job, remain in the fight, but at a distance. If you enjoy unleashing the elements of frigid ice and thundering lightning on your foes, this may be the job for you. And that is my guide for the Mage Job in Harvestella. I always hope you learned something new, or at least had fun watching the video. I will be continuing this series covering every job in Harvestella, so please subscribe and turn on the notifications so that you can check those out as well. These videos should be out a lot faster than my previous videos since they are much quicker to make, so I look forward to seeing everyone's feedback. My socials and Twitch are linked in the description below, so feel free to support me there, as I'm always happy to see you guys. You could be anywhere on the internet right now and you chose to be here with me, so just know that I really appreciate it. It does mean a lot. Have a great day, drink some water, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!